Welcome to my nightmare.
What's up, boys and ghouls? It's your girl, Mika G from Cinematic Nightmares. When most people hear Kevin Bacon, they think Footloose. But us horror fans, we know better. Kevin Bacon has been fighting for his life on screen since the 80s. Stabbed, haunted, stalked by creatures, and even turning invisible and sinister. And he's not an actor who dips in and out of horror for a paycheck. Oh, no. Kevin stays booked and bloody. From slashers to sci-fi, creature features to psychological thrillers, this man has range. And today I'm giving him his horror flowers with my top 5 Kevin Bacon horror movies. Let's get into it. Returning from the afterlife is number 5, Flatliners. This film is straight up 1990s gothic medical madness. Flatliners follows a group of med students who deliberately stop their hearts to experience the afterlife. But when they come back, they bring back dark consequences with them, manifestations of past sins and trauma. Bacon plays David, the skeptical but practical member of the group. While others spiral, David holds things together, bringing a grounded intensity to the chaos. Bacon gives the character weight, making you feel the cost of playing with life and death. This movie is stylish, eerie, and packed with early 90s atmosphere. And Bacon, well, you already know, he holds it down like a pro. Sneaking in at number 4 is Hollow Man. Now, this is where things get real dark. Bacon plays Dr. Sebastian Kane, a scientist who becomes the first human to turn invisible using military-funded serum. But once he slips out of sight, he also slips into cruelty, voyeurism, and unchecked violence. Now, this isn't your playful invisible man story. Bacon gives a chilling performance as someone who unravels into full-blown menace. Even when you can't see him, his voice and presence make you feel constantly on edge. It's a disturbing portrait of power gone wrong, and Bacon leans all the way in. Stalking in at number 3 is Friday the 13th. Now, you can't talk Kevin Bacon in horror without going back to Camp Crystal Lake. This was one of his earliest film roles, and while he's not the lead, his death scene is unforgettable. Friday the 13th follows young counselors preparing to reopen the camp only to get picked off one by a vengeful killer. Bacon plays Jack, a counselor who, after a romantic moment, ends up on the wrong end of the killer's arrow, through the neck, from under the bed. Tom Savini's practical effects make it one of the most iconic slasher kills of all time. Bacon delivers charm, cockiness, and a memorable death that cemented his early horror cred. Haunting in at number 2 is Stir of Echoes. This one is really underrated. Stir of Echoes tells the story of Tom Winsky, an ordinary working class guy who gets hypnotized at a party and suddenly starts experiencing visions tied to the ghost of a missing neighborhood girl. As the visions intensify, Tom becomes more obsessed with solving the mystery, even if it threatens to consume his life and sanity. Bacon plays Tom with raw vulnerability and intensity. He isn't some heroic figure. He's confused, scared, and unraveling, and he makes you feel every crack in his sanity. The blend of supernatural horror and psychological tension works because Bacon's grounded in it so convincingly. This film deserves way more recognition, and Bacon is the reason why it hits as hard as it does. And finally, digging in at number 1 is Tremors. Now, you already know this had to be my number 1 because it's a classic movie. Tremors is a creature feature about a tiny desert town besieged by giant underground worms called graboids. Kevin Bacon plays Valentine McKee, a handyman who dreams of escaping his dead-end life but ends up as an unlikely hero. Bacon's chemistry with Fred Ward is unbeatable, and the two of them carry the movie with humor, heart, and scrappy determination. Bacon's performance is pure charm and quick-witted survival. And Tremors remains one of the most beloved horror comedies for a reason, and Kevin Bacon is a huge part of why it works. And there you have it, my top 5 Kevin Bacon horror movies. Kevin Bacon doesn't just show up in horror, he elevates it. He's played the victim, the villain, the hunted, the haunted, and everything in between. And somehow he's never boxed into one kind of role. And that, my friends, that's the mark of a true horror chameleon. So yeah, we're giving Kevin his horror crown today because anyone who can survive and battle graboids, get haunted, and then turn around and be the monster definitely deserves their spot in Scream King rotation. So let me know in the comments below, what's your favorite Kevin Bacon horror movie? And also, who should get the next horror appreciation spotlight? Let me know. And until next time, boys and ghouls.